Hey guys, John Jr. here. I'm bringing you guys another WPF. Why did I say W so weird? WPF video. If you missed our draft analysis, you can go ahead and check that out. In the top right hand corner right now, you can see what Pokemon we have on this amazing team. One of my favorite teams I've ever drafted. Essentially, Great Tusk Roaring Moon Sun team with the Tera All Iron Moth. It's a very cool team, and today we're going to go over my first 3 matches for this league. I'm not going to do the standard post-com. I think I'm actually going to try to do what I did last time, where I give you guys highlights of each match. That way this video is not 25 minutes long, and you guys have to sit through this or put it on 2 times speed. That way it's more digestible. Let me know if you guys like it like this, and while you're down there, be sure to leave a like. It really helps support the video, pushes us into the algorithm, and helps us grow this community. But without further ado, our week 1 opponent is Techno. So during the week I was supposed to play this match, I was extremely busy, and D-Double built this team for me because of how busy I was. Again, if you guys want to check out not only the replay, but the teams that I'm using for each match, that will be down in the description below. But essentially, we are a Banded Roaring Moon. We have a Shed Shell Donphan, which is here because Gothitelle is more than likely going to be Tera Fairy and trap whatever we bring. We have a Shed Shell Torkoal for much of the same reason. Gothitelle can very easily trap us. We have a Heavy Duty Boots Zapdos. Unfortunately, it doesn't have access to Defog, but we're Roost, U-Turn, Heat Wave, and Discharge. We have an Agility Charcoal Volcarona Iron Moth, with Fire Blast, Fiery Dance, and Energy Ball. Nothing on his team is a really great fire resist. He has Rotom Wash, but that obviously doesn't enjoy taking an Energy Ball, and we're Tera Fire to boost the damage on that. And then finally, we are Scarf Tinkaton, which is a little bit scary because we can get trapped by the Goth, and if he's some sort of setup Goth, that can get pretty scary pretty quickly, but it could catch the Iron Valiant off guard, which is fantastic. The match started with me leading Roaring Moon as he led Rotom Wash because Roaring Moon did not have any great switch-ins, and I was going to U-turn turn 1 no matter what, but he actually turns out to be Scarf and fire offs a Will-O-Wisp on my Roaring Moon. We go into the Torkoal. Now that we know he is Scarf, he obviously can't Will-O-Wisp us, and this is free rocks as he gets in the Ting Lu. We're able to go Great Tusk after this, and thanks to the Photosynthesis boost, we guarantee claim a kill on his team. Iron Valiant's going to come out, and Torkoal is the check to this. Unfortunately, we get it in with Sun expiring, and we get a massive burn on the incoming Ting Lu. Tornadus comes in trying to call our Great Tusk, which was a great switch on our opponent's part, but then we are able to just go into our Zapdos as he gets in the Ting Lu. We get our Great Tusk back in, and we're able to get this spike off of the field, and then we're able to get some momentum on the incoming Ting Lu, getting Great Tusk in a fantastic position. A lot of switching later, we're able to get Tinkaton in on the Cyclizar. We unfortunately missed the Heat Play Rough on the Cyclizar, but this was kind of a blessing in disguise because Gothitelle could have came in on us. And then I thought to myself, does Iron Moth not just win the game right here? And the answer is yes. We're going to go ahead and Agility up, we're going to Tera Fire, and we're going to claim 1 kill, 2 kills, 3 kills, 4 kills. Well, hold on. 4 kills, and then he forfeited, so we didn't get the 5th kill, but we got 5 kills. So the WPF season has came off to a hot start with Iron Moth leading the charge with 5 KOs. Obviously, Free Tera is just broken, but even just Tera Fire Iron Moth would have been fantastic. Facing the Gothitelle was extremely scary, but we got through it. And shout out to Dell again for building that team. This was 4 months ago at this point, but I still really appreciate it. As for our second matchup, we are playing a Chi-Yu, Landorus, Therian, Dragapult team. Yes, that's a real team that we had to play. We're bringing, like most other weeks, an Agility, Booster Energy, Tera Iron Moth. This time we are going to be Tera Water, which helps us offensively. Tera Water does really, really well. It was kind of the missing link as far as offensives go. We are a Spadef Roaring Moon. He is a Tera Chi-Yu, which is extremely scary, and obviously Tera Fairy does us really, really dirty, but we have Iron Head on the Roaring Moon specifically for that reason, and we're just Spadef to be able to take hits from that Chi-Yu. We are a mixed defensive Dunsparce, which is here specifically for the Dragapult, a Rocky Helmet Zapdos for the Lando, an AV Great Tusk to try to mitigate a little bit of damage from the Chi-Yu and the Dragapult if he is special. And then we brought our boy Quilladin, which is here because Landorus can't really touch us this generation because it doesn't get knockoff, doesn't really threaten us in any way. The best way to hit us is obviously U-turn, so Quilladin was here to alleviate the Landorus pressure a little bit. And there was also another Pokemon. I think he had Urshifu Rapid Strike that he didn't bring. We lead off the game with Rotund as he leads off Landorus. We get the lead right, we get Quilladin and Lando, but I actually switch out turn 1 and I honestly don't remember why. We get Great Tusken on Chi-Yu and we're AV, so we live any 1 hit unless he's Tera Fire, which I don't expect in this matchup, so we're going to fire off a Headlong Rush. And then the Screamtail gets the Chi-Yu right back in the same position on our Quilladin. We go Roaring Moon and I scout for the Tera Fairy. I go into the Dunsparce and he makes a Flame Charge play, which is actually a very interesting play. I switch out into Quilladin, ready to sack this Quilladin off because that Pokemon is going to get very scary very, very quickly as he does fear the glare and he goes into his Iron Thorns. A lot of Quillid installing later, we get 3 spikes up and Roaring Moon is back in on the Chi-Yu, and we're able to hit him with an Iron Head as he does risk the flame charge. Dunsparce is able to come in and pick off a KO on that Chi-Yu as the Lucario comes in and it threatens us immediately. We go into our Zapdos as this is now what the Zapdos is for, and he gets a Stone Edge crit on our Zapdos. And this is where the WPF curse begins, ladies and gentlemen. We guarantee live that every single time. We did max, if I remember correctly, max 98.8 damage to us, but he gets the crit, and now his Lucario is just in a prime position in this game, and our Zapdos is gone. So we're in a really tough spot now because of that. We go Great Tusk, and I try to do a sneaky maneuver here and go into our Iron Moth to win the game. I had to make it 50-50 as to whether I thought he would click EQ or Wild Charge. I anticipate the Earthquake as I'm going to Terra and then get the Terra Blast off, and we actually don't kill, and I don't know how. Iron Moth, that was a little bit disappointing. We're going to be able to pick up the KO as Dragon Bolt comes in, and we go into Rotund, who absolutely chews the hit like a champion, and we're able to fire off a Leech Seed. Roaring Moon is able to take out the super weak Scream Tail, and then Dragon Ball comes in and revenges the Roaring Moon. Great Tusk is able to pick up a KO as he sacks Lucario, and the in-game is not looking great. We switch into Rotund, and a lot of Leech Seed stalling later. We have to sack our Iron Moth. Eventually, Great Tusk is able to kill the Dragapult, and we choke. We make a double. If I just Ice Spinner, we won the game because he actually did not have a great move to hit our Quilladin, but I just switch out because if he did not Nasty Plot, which I did not expect, then this was always the play. So I guess it came down to, was he Nasty Plot or not? And ultimately he was, and he's going to be able to ultimately win this game because our Quilladin cannot touch him. For those of you wondering, he had Sludge Bomb, and Sludge Bomb does not hit bulletproof Pokemon. So that game was a little bit unfortunate. Obviously, if we just simply had the Zapdos, we would have won that game. So that was super, super unfortunate, obviously, and he felt really bad about it, but it is what it is. We go 1-1. Unfortunately, Iron Moth not really pulling its weight that week, and Quilladin actually did really well, but now I trade Quilladin for Leafeon, and we have that going into next week. Next up, and finally for this video, we're going to be playing someone named Lily for week 3 of WPF. This team had Zamazenta, Palafin. Man, I don't know if there were just like 3 people drafting in these pools, but these teams were insane. We obviously did 8-man, and that's why these teams were really good, but these teams were ridiculous. I think they were Terra Dirge, if I remember correctly, but the team that we brought is as follows. We are a simple Heat Rock Torkoal, a leftovers defensive Donphan, Great Tusk for the Zamazenta, a banded speed boosting Roaring Moon, which I actually don't think works like that because my banded boost my attack, but I didn't know that at the time. We're a Terra Water Overheat Eject Pack Gamarona, or once again a Rocky Helmet Zapdos, which is here to alleviate pressure from the Zamazenta. And then we're a Leafeon because he didn't have a good grass type, and I actually thought Chlorophyll Leafeon could do really, really well in this matchup and also attempt to beat the Palafin. So we're going to lead off here. We're going to lead Torkoal as he leads Palafin, and we see the Rain Dance come out here. Some absolute heat from our boy as we get our rocks out. I just go hard Leafeon here. I have no reason to do anything else as that forces a switch, and we get Leech Seed up on the Zapdos. I'm going to protect, see what he wants to do, and he actually does look to be a Rain team as we see the Thunder come out, and into the Zapdos mirror we go as Zapdos just walls this Pokemon. I'm going to go ahead and go for the U-turn here. Pivoting, seeing what he wants to do, whether we get some offensive momentum or defensive momentum was up to what he did. He ends up going Gastrodon, and we're able to go into our Leafeon here. We're able to just throw up another Leech Seed, but he is going to get Rocks up. And then we call the double Leech Seed because I am cracked. I go hard into Roaring Moon as he misses an unfortunate Will-O-Wisp, which will not matter. We'll see at the end of the game. I'm able to get the U-turn off, and then we see our Great Tusk is going to attempt to wall this Zamazenta. Out comes the Skeledirge as they really valued keeping the rocks up, which I don't blame them by any means. And then I'm going to go into Roaring Moon this time as now it gets burns. So it really didn't matter at the end of the day. I'm going to get a U-turn off, go Leafeon on the Palafin. A lot of switching later, we get our Great Tusk in on the Terra Fighting Skeledirge as we're able to get a Rapid Spin off, but unfortunately that comes at the cost of a burn, which is fine because we still beat the Zamazenta, but just a little unfortunate for the rest of the team. We go Torkoal as we see the Zapdos double. I get my Zapdos in as they realize their Zapdos does not beat our Zapdos, and in comes the Gastrodon. I'm able to get some more momentum as they get rocks back up, which is super annoying for my non-boots Zapdos and non-boots Torkoal, but we're going to go ahead and get some more seeds up as Great Tusk comes in on the Skeledirge. We're able to keep rocks away and unfortunately miss a pretty crucial Leech Seed with our Leafeon. I aggressively go Terra Volcarona here. I just throw off an Overheat because I'm going to do massive damage. I don't think he's going to slack off this turn, and that gives me momentum into Zapdos, which this will not kill, and be able to outspeed and kill the following turn as we actually get to play even more right than I anticipated, and he Earth Powers. I throw off a Thunderbolt, I get baited, in comes the Gastrodon. I just go right back into Leafeon, you know how it is. A lot of the same later, I get Torkoal in on the Calm Minding Scream Tail, and I'm able to just clear smog that Pokemon, make sure it does not set up in our face, and I unfortunately have to let our Torkoal go down. My best play here was to go Iron Moth and Overheat. We had a chance to KO if he was not especially defensive. Unfortunately, you can tell by the photosynthesis he most certainly was, as we're able to take it out the following turn, and in comes the Zamazenta. I go Great Tusk because you might as well save the Iron Moth. I'm still confident we can get the Rapid Spin off eventually, and I'm an idiot. I was Headlong Rush, not Earthquake, which doesn't make sense by the way, but we're able to break the sub, scare that Pokemon off, and get the Rapid Spin off, and kill the Skeledurs the following turn. Our Zapdos is going to wall their Zapdos a little bit as I get Iron Moth in on the Gastrodon. I go for an Energy Ball. It kills if he's not Spadef, but he actually reveals to be Rindo, and unfortunately Iron Moth is going to go down here. Leafeon is going to come in, and unfortunately I sack it to get the Roaring Moon in on the Zapdos, and there's got to be an amazing sequence of plays for me to win the game at this point, and that's exactly what you're going to see here. I U-turn on the incoming Zamazenta. In comes Great Tusk. Obviously this Pokemon checks Zamazenta. I double on the Zapdos and go right back into my own Zapdos. I U-turn on the Gastrodon, get my Roaring Moon in on this Gastrodon. I expect him to stay in. I crunch and I kill the Gastrodon, which was a guaranteed roll since we knew that he was Spadef based on the Energy Ball damage. And now we're right back in this damn game. Obviously, Great Tusk gonna wall the Zamazenta. We break sub, but I'm -1 because I didn't bring Earthquake for some reason, so I'm gonna go Zapdos, which walls his Pokemon until the end of time. And I'm rocking Helmet, so no harm done. And if he attacks me with any move that's not Stone Edge, we're able to kill him, and he actually doesn't kill us with 2 Stone Edges because we're so bulky. I'm gonna scout for the Stone Edge. I go Donphan again, or Great Tusk, whatever the case may be, and I break the sub with the Headlong Rush. I am going to just die here, and I make a throwing play. I just throw. There's just no way around it. I go hard Zapdos on the Stone Edge, which was a lose con. I shouldn't have done that. I should have just sacked Great Tusk. Great Tusk had no other purpose here. I'm not sure why I saved it. It was a bad play all around, and he hits a Stone Edge, which is a good play on his part, unfortunate for me. And then I roost on the Stone Edge miss because he never ever killed me. He now has 6 Stone Edges left. 5 actually. He has 5 Stone Edges left. I go for the T-Ball, but he ends up getting the crit, which actually matters because his Palafin was Rain Dance, Jet Punch, Drain Punch, Bulk Up. He did not kill my defensive Zapdos from the range that we were at in any universe ever, and he agreed with it that he won that game, or that they won the game due to the crit. I'm sorry if I've been calling them a he. I actually have no idea. And this, at the end of the day, was also still like an 80-something% roll. Our Zapdos goes down, and the game is lost to Palafin. WPF curse is real, and nobody can tell me otherwise. We go down 1-2 in our first 3 games, where we should be realistically 3-0. I played my ass off to put myself in a position to win that game, and unfortunately the game doesn't like rewarding good players, so we get punished, obviously, as the case always is. If you guys enjoyed this, if you guys enjoyed my editing, and you guys enjoyed my commentary, be sure to let me know, not only down below, but also by leaving a like on the video. And while you're there, you might as well subscribe, guys. There's no reason not to. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate each and every single one of you. And for now, guys, this has been John Jr. signing off.